There's something deeply unsettling about flying at night. The cabin lights dim. The world outside disappears into darkness. And for a few hours, you exist somewhere between places. Not quite here, not quite there. Most people try to sleep. But some wish they hadn't. Because sometimes, on certain flights, you might not be alone. Even if every seat is taken. My name is Daniel Harper. This happened 3 years ago. I still don't fly at night. It was a routine business trip. Los Angeles to Chicago. Delayed, of course. By the time we boarded, it was nearly midnight. The airport felt off. Too quiet. Like everyone had already left. Even the gate agent avoided eye contact. When I stepped onto the plane, I felt it immediately. That strange pressure in your ears. But we hadn't even taken off yet. I found my seat, 17A. Window. Next to me. 17B was empty. Or at least, I thought it was. We took off smoothly. City lights faded beneath us. Cabin lights dimmed. People slept. That's when I heard it. A voice. Soft. Right next to me. You shouldn't be here. I turned. The seat was still empty. Or almost empty. The cushion was slightly indented. Like someone had just shifted their weight. I told myself it was turbulence. Stress. Lack of sleep. Then the voice came again. Closer. This flight isn't supposed to land. I didn't call a flight attendant. I didn't move. I just sat there. Frozen. Staring at a seat that now felt occupied. Then I saw it. Not clearly. Not fully. But enough. A faint outline. Like heat distortion in the air. A shape sitting beside me. Its head slowly turned toward me. And even though I couldn't see a face, I knew. It was looking directly at me. Listen carefully, it whispered. Something goes wrong in 40 minutes. My heart started pounding. I checked my watch. 12:43 a.m. The voice spoke again. Calm. Emotionless. Left engine failure. Rapid descent. No survivors. I shook my head. No, I whispered. That's not real. The thing beside me leaned closer. And for a split second, I saw its face. Distorted. Like it didn't belong in this world. Eyes too deep. Smile too wide. It already happened. I stood up suddenly. Called for a flight attendant. Tried to explain. They checked the seat. Nothing. No passenger assigned to 17B. No record. No name. I showed them the indentation. They told me to sit down. That I was tired. But I wasn't. Because the voice hadn't stopped. You can still change it. 12:58 a.m. Exactly 15 minutes later. The plane jolted. Hard. Passengers woke up. A loud metallic noise echoed through the cabin. Then, the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing a minor issue. The voice interrupted. Right beside me. This is where it begins. I turned slowly. And this time, I saw it completely. The passenger in seat 17B. Burned. Broken. Eyes hollow. Still smiling. I was you. Everything stopped. My breath. My thoughts. Time itself. You didn't listen, it said. So now, I'm here to make sure you do. The plane shook violently. People screamed. And in that moment, I understood. This wasn't a ghost. It was a warning. A loop. A second chance. We landed safely. Emergency crews surrounded the runway. They said it was a miracle. Engine failure, caught just in time. But here's the part one never told anyone. When we reached the gate, I looked at seat 17B1 last time. And there, etched faintly into the window, were words. Next time, you won't wake up. Title: The airport that exists outside time. Airports are strange places. They're built for movement. But somehow, they always feel like you're standing still. People rushing past you. Voices echoing through endless halls. Departure boards flickering. Like they're trying to tell you something. Most of us pass through airports without thinking. But sometimes, you take a wrong turn. And instead of finding your gate, you find something else. Something that was never meant to be found. My name is Aaron Malik. This happened during a winter trip about 6 years ago. I was flying from New York to Denver. A simple connection. But the storm changed everything. Flights were delayed. Cancelled. People sleeping on floors, wrapped in coats, and frustration. My connecting flight was pushed back again and again. Until eventually, it disappeared from the board entirely. I went to the help desk. The woman barely looked at me. She typed something, paused, then printed a boarding pass. No explanation. No apology. Just a quiet sentence. Gate C47. Boarding soon. I followed the signs toward Terminal C. But something didn't feel right. The airport was crowded behind me. But the further I walked, the quieter it became. The lights dimmed slightly. The floors looked older. The signs, outdated. I checked my phone. No signal. That's when I saw it. Gate C47. At the very end of a long, empty hallway. No passengers. No staff. Just a single flickering light above the gate. The doors opened automatically. Inside was a terminal. But not like any I'd seen before. The design was old. Like something from the 1970s. Brown seats. Analog clocks. Dust in the air. And the strangest part? The departure board. It wasn't digital. It was mechanical. Flipping slowly. Making that loud, ticking sound. I stepped closer. And what I saw made my stomach drop. Flights listed for dates that didn't make sense. March 12. 1987. October 3. 1999. June 21. 2036. An announcement played. Distorted. Repeating. Over and over. Now boarding? Flight 217. Gate C47. Same words. Same tone. Every 30 seconds. Like it was stuck. Or trapped. I tried to leave. But the doors behind me were gone. Just a blank wall. I wasn't alone. Not anymore. People started appearing. Sitting quietly. Not moving. Not speaking. Their clothes from different decades. A man in a 70s suit. A woman with a 90s hairstyle. A child wearing something I didn't recognize. None of them blinked. None of them reacted. Until one of them turned toward me. Slowly. Too slowly. And said, "You weren't supposed to find this place." I ran. Or at least, I tried to. But the hallway kept repeating. Same gate. Same chairs. Same people. Over and over. Then the announcement changed. For the first time. Final boarding call for Aaron Malik. My name. echoing through the terminal. The plane was waiting outside the gate. No logo. No markings. The door open. Dark inside. The people stood up. All at once. And looked at me. Waiting. I don't remember deciding. I just ran. Straight through the gate. Through the darkness. And suddenly, I was back. Standing in a crowded airport. Noise. Light. Movement. Like nothing had happened. I checked the departures board. My flight was back. On time. Like it had never been delayed. But before I left, I looked around. And for just a second, I saw it again. A hallway. Dark. Empty. With a flickering sign. Gate C47. Waiting. Title: The unmarked plane that lands at 3:17 a.m. There are rules at every airport. Rules about security. Rules about safety. Rules about what you can and cannot do. Most of them make sense. But some rules aren't written anywhere. They are passed quietly. From one worker to another. Warnings disguised as advice. And if you ignore them, you might see something you were never meant to see. My name is Eric Lawson. I took the job because I needed the money. Night shift ground crew. Regional airport. Nothing special. At least, that's what I thought. My supervisor, Daniels, was the one who hired me. He didn't ask many questions. Didn't care about experience. Just one thing. Can you follow instructions? He asked. I said yes. He nodded slowly. Good, he said. Then you'll last longer than most. I laughed. He didn't. The first few nights were normal. Refueling planes. Guiding arrivals. Checking equipment. Then, on my fourth shift, everything changed. At exactly 3:10 a.m. Daniels pulled me aside. His voice was lower than usual. Listen carefully, he said. At 3:17, you go inside. I frowned. Why? He didn't answer immediately. Then he said, because you don't want to be out here when it lands. I thought it was a joke. Some kind of initiation. But at 3:15, every worker disappeared. Hangars closed. Lights dimmed. Runway cleared. Like the entire airport was holding its breath. Except me. I stayed. Hidden behind a fuel truck. Waiting. At 3:17 a.m. It arrived. No sound. No lights. Just the peering out of the darkness. A plane. Large. Unmarked. Completely black. It touched down silently. No engine roar. No tire screech. Nothing. It just landed. And rolled to a stop. Right in the center of the runway. No ground crew approached. No one spoke. The doors didn't open. For a long time. Nothing happened. Then, the door slowly creaked open. Figures began to emerge. One by one. But something was wrong. Terribly wrong. They didn't walk normally. Their movements were delayed. Like they were copying human motion a second too late. Step, pause, step. Heads tilted too far. Arms swinging slightly out of sync. I leaned closer, trying to see. And one of them stopped. Mid-step. Then slowly. Turned toward me. It shouldn't have seen me. I was hidden. Still. Silent. But it looked directly at me. Its face. Almost human. Almost. Eyes too wide. Smile too still. Then it lifted its hand and waved. The others stopped. All at once. Every single one of them. Then slowly, they all turned toward me. At the same time. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Because I realized something. They weren't confused. They weren't lost. They were pretending. And now, they knew I was watching. I don't remember running. But somehow, I made it inside. The door slammed shut behind me. Daniels was waiting. Angry. Terrified. You saw it, he said. I nodded. He closed his eyes. They always know, he whispered. I quit the next day. Left the job. Left the city. But sometimes. At exactly 3:17 a.m. I wake up. And I swear. I hear something outside. Not a plane. Something else. Waiting. To see if I'll look.